Etoma Edu.
Well, good morning, Nigeria, and welcome. It's Tuesday, and we're still here to serve you all the information you need to start your morning right. Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. The name is Ria Abdul.
Thank you once again for joining us this beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm Ibrahim Sheta. It's good to see you again.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is TVC Breakfast on Tuesday. It's good to be back on the table. My name is Nelson Etta. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. How are you?
Oh, my.
And I'll tell you something. I told the other day, someone was telling me that the way I shout good morning, they wake up from the bed if TVC is off.
But that's the idea, literally. It's a breakfast show, so you need to wake up.
I sure want you to wake up. So when I say good morning, Nigeria, I'm sure you're up from your bed.
Absolutely.
But yes, it's definitely going to be a fantastic show today. And it's so good to have you back, Nelson.
Good to be back on the table.
All right, so there's a lot to talk about on the show this morning. You know how we do it. We'll have our newspaper review where Nelson brings us all the headlines and we get to talk about it, on the show. And just after that, we'll have quite an intriguing interview, like I always say, and we're going to talk about state policing today. And then we'll go all the way to Abuja for the FCT brief. And then we come back for Trending Now, where Olamide gives us everything that is trending on social media. So like I always say, please grab your cup of coffee and let's have a fantastic show. But we'll start with the story where the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, has declared that it will continue its strike despite the federal government's intervention to address the union's grievances. Now, the development follows a closed-door meeting that lasted over 6 hours. NUPENG leaders criticized Dangote's refinery recruitment conditions, which prohibited drivers from joining oil and gas unions. They described these conditions as violation of Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution, the Labour Act, and the International Labour Organization Conventions 98 and 87.
Representative of the Dangote refinery walked out on the Honorable Minister and organized labor. Even when we bent backward to accommodate his uncompromising behavior, he still did what he had to do. So we are left with no option than to do the needful. The action continues. It's not for us to decide. It takes more than a party to reach a resolution. So whenever the representative of the Dangote petroleum refinery, when he sees the need for a meaningful dialogue, why not? We're ready.
So it's unfortunate that at this point in time, we're having an investor whose main purpose is to say there can't be union in his establishment. He wants to monopolize the entire system and even monopolize workers alongside with them. This we said no.
Now, Minister of Labour and Employment Mohammed Dingyagi appealed to both parties to exercise patience in the interest of the public.
Both parties have tried to listen to us and they have tried to cooperate to the best of their ability, but as negotiation is, there are always issues that people cannot agree to. But we believe we should be able to sort out these issues by the grace of God. I want to appeal to everybody to please try to maintain peace, to be able to get both parties to agree on something that will ensure that the strike is called off. This is the position so far.
All right, now the meeting included senior members of the Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment, Dangote Group Management, and NUPENG representatives. So yesterday we started with this conversation. We spoke about it. We said they were going to go on strike, and we were hoping that it would not happen. They will resolve it. 6 hours, a meeting of 6 hours is no joke. And we heard the other man speak, and he said that some people actually walked out of the meeting. It's obvious that they were not able to come to an agreement, during this meeting, which is quite painful. You hear someone say that, oh, they believe that Dangote wants to do monopoly, and they don't want to take part of it. Etoma, yesterday we said on this table that if this strike should happen, it affects Nigerians. But it seems like they were not able to get an agreement, and this is still going to happen. What do you make of this?
First days of negotiations for things like this are always like that. It might be positive, it might be negative, depending on the feelings and the sensibilities of the people involved. You know, from what the union representative said, the guy that led the Dangote team seems to be quite uncompromising, you know, and stood up and walked out of the minister and organized labor. That's not a good sign at all. It is not a good sign at all. However, the minister says that the meeting will continue today, and I will advise that the meeting shouldn't hold in the evening like yesterday's meeting held. It should hold in the daytime. So if it's going to be a 24-hour meeting or an 18-hour meeting, let it be 24 or 18 hours. We're talking about petroleum here, the hub of the Nigerian economy. You know, I like he said, we pray that there should be some patience from both sides so that we can come to an agreement. Day one, we didn't really feel anything, but day two, day three,
but I like how the other man said, by the grace of God, they're adding God into everything, because at this point, God has to intercede for us. Yes. But let me come to you, Ibrahim.
Don't you bring God into everything?
You have to bring God. But Nelson, Ibrahim, let me come to you here. 6 hours meeting, and at the end of the day, no positive thing came out of it. A lot of Nigerians were waiting for the outcome of that meeting, because a lot of Nigerians are also against the fact that, you know, they get to go on strike. Yesterday, we spoke about monopoly. You know, we said that, is it right? And these people, this is what they are crying for. They are saying that it's almost looking like monopoly, and they do not want monopoly.
First off, let's say that it's okay that he mentioned that God will intervene.
Oh no, God is the Alpha and
Omega. But God will not change the condition of the people, except they change what is in their own self. That's that's what he has said. So it's okay that they had a meeting. The meeting was called for 10 a.m. or thereabouts. It didn't hold until around 5 p.m. So they had 6 hours, which was supposed to even last longer than that. But the first day, as Etomat said, we expected, you know, positive results, but I want to believe that they must have made, you know, some level of, you know, headway. So in the bottom line of it is, the Nigerian economy will suffer for it if we allow this strike to commence or to go on. Because yesterday on our way home, you know, there was a reporter with us, you know, filming different filling stations, and then some filling stations were actually active. But I understand that in the north, some filling stations are already complying with the directive to go on strike. So the government should meet them halfway. Yes, God is in the mix of everything, but do not expect God to come from heaven to come and, you know, talk to Dangote. Monopoly is not a thing. It should it's a game. It should remain a game. Let people play the monopoly game, but not on the Nigerian economy, because this is what we all depend on. Even though we are talking about alternative source of energy and all of that, it's okay that Dangote wants to, you know, bring in 4,000 trucks, recruit his drivers, but saying that there would be no union in your, no, that's against the Labor Act, you know, 40 of the Labor Act. So we should do things the way it should be done, so that at the end of the day, we praise you, we continue the praises, rather than now coming back to say, no, what you're trying to do is so bad, even though we see that, yes, you're doing your business, but you have to, you know, play well.
Yeah, and Nelson, you know, we heard them say that the rep from Dangote actually walked out of the meeting. If you ask me, if I do say so myself, you know, what these people are crying for is actually the right thing. At the end of the day, you know, you cannot just say that these people will be omitted and there will not be union and all of that, because this is what we have known. It's even in the Constitution. It's even in the Labor, you know, Constitution.
That's right.
So what do you make of this? And the fact that, you know, he walked out of the meeting.
First of all, that shows disrespect. No matter what, you can't, and he shouldn't have walked out on them. That you're already saying, you know, you guys don't have anything to offer. That's why he could walk out on them. For a Dangote refinery, which is going to be a major player in the oil and gas sector in this country today, he can't afford to say that NUPENG and any other oil unions cannot be part of it. No, sir. Except you want to build a refinery in heaven. There's no NUPENG in heaven or any other place else. But as long as it's here in Nigeria, you have to come in line with the Nigerian laws. And as long as that law stands today, you should have that in your... And by the way, if they come in, what harm are they going to do to your company?
That's the question I've been asking. What
because
harm?
if they could sit down and outline the detriments this union would bring to Dangote, then maybe we can have a relook at the conversation again. But as long as you're not able to do that to us, then no, sir. Let them be there. and then we can work under some agreements as to what to and what not to do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because their being there is also for the protection of the workers in that company, which is why the union itself is existing.
And you know, you heard him, the other guy was saying that, you know, monopoly, you can see that they are totally kicking against monopoly. But all I'll say is that I just hope that this is resolved. Because when things like this happen, they say when two elephants fight, who suffers? The ground suffers. So when these people are having big issues and all of that, at the end of the day, it's Nigerians that are suffering. If these filling stations are not working anymore, how do we come and do the breakfast show? How do we come and tell you what's happening in Nigeria? So I'm just hoping
that... you live here in Lekki, so you trek.
Because I would have fear.
But for my audience, I will fly. I will even fly. But anyway, we just hope that you know, it comes to an end and they get to resolve it, and you know, it's just for the betterment of Nigerians. But we'll take a quick break here, and when we return, Nelson is ready for the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere. This is TVC Breakfast.